going to show you some more chords in the DADGAD tuning. I'm going to show you some, we're going to start with some G chords. And the DADGAD tuning, just for review, is DADGAD. D-A-D-G-A-D. D-A-D-G-A-D. So basically what you do is you take the low E string and you lower it down a whole step. You take the high E string and you lower it down a whole step. And you take the B string and you go down to A, just a whole step as well. And that's how you create that tuning. So essentially the A string, the D string, and the G string, the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings are completely unchanged for DADGAD. And it's largely a finger style tuning, but there's no rules. You can strum with it if you want, and this is going to help you maybe find some chords for finger style, or also find chords if you want to strum in DADGAD. Okay, so I showed you some on the previous video. I showed you some D chords, and I showed you some C chords. We may come up with some more in the process here, but for right now I'm going to show you some G shapes, okay? And because we're drop D, the G is up here. If I played a regular G chord, it'd be a complete mess. The G note that was normally here on the 3rd fret of the bottom string is now up here on the 5th fret. The nice thing is the E string is now tuned down to D, which is a note in the chord of G. And but the hard thing is we're going to have to deaden that 5th string, the A string, with our pinky. Now I could grab the B on the 5th string and just play those 2 notes, and that would be a G2 chord. I think I have that one written. Yeah, it's written in here. And I've got compiled a list of chords, just with numbers, you know, fingerings, real simple list, and I'm going to put that on my on the YouTube description below. And you feel free to copy and paste that into a document so that you have it. You can print it up and kind of refer to that if you want as you watch the videos. But anyway, the first G chord I have is just a basic G triad, G, and then skip the A string, open D, open G, and then 2nd fret on the 2nd string, so that gives us our 3rd, B, and the open E string. It's pretty hard for a G chord. This is not an easy G chord. You could take the pinky off, I mean the 1st finger off, and just use the pinky, and that would be a G2, but there's no 3rd in there. There's no B note. That's where adding this note might come in handy. And that's a pretty chord too. You could put a B in here, maybe here. If you wanted to add a B, you could do that there, and then you would have a 2nd. That would be a G2 chord. Okay? So in other words, you would have a G, a B, and a D. There's a triad, and then the 2nd, which would be the A. Okay? And so here's the A, the open A string. So that would be 5, and then nothing on the, so an X or nothing on the A string. Then open, 4, open, open. And since that B is right there, that's the 3rd on the 1st finger. If you want to sus it, you can just put your 3rd finger down in front of it at the 5th fret and sus it. Just start experimenting with some stuff. Gsus would be this 5 and then nothing 0 0 3 0, and then you could resolve that down to the G. So just not an easy chord to grab, that G chord. For any time you have a chord that's difficult to play, I suggest that you play that chord and then play another chord and then play that chord again and then play a 3rd chord and then that chord. Keep going back. For example, if you're having a hard time playing an F bar chord, you could play F and then G and then F, C, F, D, F, E minor, F, A minor. Alternate the chord that you're having a trouble with chords that you don't have trouble with. And that way you get your fingers used to traveling the path from the hard chord to the easy chords. And that way your fingers start to learn those paths and you're able to change chords more quickly. Because that's always the struggle with any beginner player is the ability to change from one chord to the next quickly. That's a common struggle. And it's even a struggle for anyone who's been playing, who plays guitar. If it's a complex chord or a difficult shape to grab with your hands, you want to practice getting to it. And that might be the case with this G chord. You could go from the D shape to the C, 2 chord that we learned. And I'm always kind of try to be efficient with my time, and so one thing you can do is instead of strumming 8 beats of one chord and then changing to the other chord, just do 1 beat each. You can pack more learning into a shorter period of time. Okay, so G, G sus, G major 7. We could play it like this. We could go 5, nothing, then 4, 0, 2, 0. Pretty chord. Or we could lower that 4 down to 3, so we're playing 5 and then nothing, 3, 0, 2, 0, and that would be G7. Also, like I said before, you could do 5, 2, and then all zeros to get a G2 chord, or you could just do the pinky or any finger here and just hit that and make sure you're deadening the A string. Okay, so that's some G shapes, some basic G shapes. Let's talk about some A shapes. So A, your standard open A chord that you would play like this, okay, is a totally different chord when you play it in Dad Gad. To get a normal A sound, you're going to have to bar the 2nd fret, the top 4 strings. So leave the A string open. We're not playing the bottom string. A string, and then 2, 2, and then we're going to go 4, 2. Okay, and I'm using my 1st finger and my 3rd finger. It's kind of a cool chord. It's a little hard to play, but it's cool because we can hammer on that. That's the 3rd that the 3rd finger is playing. So. We just play just the 2nd frets there, just the bar chord part. That's an A2 chord. So this would be A, E, A, B, and E. No 3rd. And that's kind of cool too. And we can hammer on the 2nd, on the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and that's the 2nd. So you get a redundancy there. So you end up with 2 Bs. We don't have a 3rd, we can make a minor chord that's major. If we went, that would be A minor, okay? You see that? So A would be 0, starting on the 5th string, 0, 2, 2, 4, 2. A minor would be 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, okay? Or if I wanted to put the minor 3rd here, so I have against the B, oops, sorry, wrong one. If I put my pinky on the 3rd string, 5th fret, then I end up with my C there. A sus could be played 0, starting on the A string, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0. Progression we might play in the key of D would be D to A to G to A. Not easy, not a natural feeling chord progression in your hands, but going from kind of 2 fingers on to bar chord to 2 fingers on to bar chord, it's almost more of an exercise than a song. E minor. Not easy. I mean, this is crazy to do. This is one way to play E minor. That would be 2 on the bottom string, nothing on the next string. So you're going to have to play 2 with the thumb and deaden the A string with the tip of your thumb. The fleshy part of your thumb makes a good deadener. And then 2, 0, 2, 0. The other thing we could do though is, here we have D sus, this would be E sus. We could go, if we go here, this is, if you remember D5, if we wanted to kind of play a minor, we could do it this way, E minor, but actually this would just be an E5. This is E, B, E, B, B, E. It's all just E's and B's, no 3rd. If we wanted a 3rd, we could add it here, a minor 3rd here, with the pinky. So my fret positions are 2, 2, 5, 4, 2, 2. 2, 2, 5, 4, 2, 2. It's pretty hard chord. or an E minor, considering E minor on a normal tuning is like this. So you can see where using odd tunings and trying to play normal chords in odd tunings can be quite a challenge. Okay, so there's E minor, but I could also play the instead of playing the G down here with the pinky on the 4th string, I could play it on the 1st string. And so what I was just doing there was barring all 6 strings at the 2nd fret, adding my 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then just using my pinky on the 5th fret down to the 4th, taking it off to the 2nd, putting it back on, and kind of creating this. And you could do that very easily in the key of D. So that D minor shape is 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 3. That's really easy. That's easier than a normal D minor shape, and it's huge because you get the low E and A down there to play. Okay. Again, usually, you're doing something more along the lines of a fingerstyle thing. When you're tuned in Dad Gad. Okay, a couple more chords. B minor would be something like this. not easy. They're all so hard. Nothing on the bottom string. 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, open. Get at least one open string in there. If we want to do B minor 7 though, we could just do like what you would imagine like a B power chord. Starting on the A string. 2, 4, 4, 0, 0. That might actually be able to give you enough chords in the key of D to do something with it. Okay, so that's B minor 7, B minor, E minor, A, G, and then we have D, and of course we did the C's also. Okay, I'm going to do some more. I'm going to give you some movable chords on the next video, and I'm also going to maybe show you a couple chord progressions we can jam with. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care. God bless you guys. Bye.